Okay, runners ready!
Hello everyone, this is the Elmhurst Classic Criterium 2026 Cat 4-5. A little late to this, I just moved, and so I'm sure the audio quality is going to be a little bit less in this one because my room is entirely unfurnished and it's just one big echo box, so hopefully it's not that bad. But yeah, this is basically my hometown crit. It's as close as I can get from where I grew up, so kind of meant a lot to me being able to participate in this one. I am also part of the volunteer squad here. I did a whole bunch of miles picking up all those barriers at the end of the day. That's what I did. But pretty big field, 63 I'm pretty sure in this field, and this day was probably the first like, oh, summer is here kind of day in this region. It took a while. This was in June, and so we were lucky enough to not have any of those days just yet, but when I arrived it was nice. But this race, it was like 85 and incredibly humid, and I haven't done any training for that yet, and so I'm usually pretty good in the heat, but I do think the heat actually got to me today, which is unfortunate. This crit last year in the 4-5 field absolutely fell apart. No one really got off the front, but people just kept falling off the back over and over. There was also a decent amount of crashes. And so my goal right at the start of this race was just, hey, get to the front as soon as you can. Do that extra work. It's going to be like, you can do the extra work and be tired at the end of the race, or you can get pulled halfway through because you were behind 3 crashes and there goes the front. So I'm all the way at the front already. And we were pretty fast this race. This was a 26 mile an hour crit, and for a 4-5 field, still kind of early into the season, that's pretty fast. That's like a mile and a half faster than this one was last year. So pretty competitive crowd out there today. With everyone out there on the field, a lot of these turns I wasn't taking the best, unfortunately. Not like terribly, but like I was not hitting those lines as well as I could have. Coming up here, this was probably one of the most consequential features. It's a little chicane, and we're coming into it slight downhill and with a tailwind, so we were coming into this kind of fast. And right there, my back tire slipped out a little bit. I wasn't leaning that much, and apparently some of the higher end people also were complaining about that tire. It might have been so humid out that the lines on the ground, the double yellow, was a little bit slick, so like I wasn't oh, I'm leaning way too much. And then right after that turn, right after that chicane, as I was talking to the guy, it's angled kind of weird. It's crowned in a pretty weird way where if you don't take that at a pretty inside line, it forces you out. And so we'll see eventually in this race someone doesn't know that, and it'll just send people into that curb, which is both sad and funny to watch. But it's like, you gotta keep turning. You gotta turn extra hard in that one. Like this turn right there, terrible turn by me. And we'll see that a decent bit. Like it wasn't dangerous, but I could have been a little bit more aggressive and stayed in front of that guy on the green. I think that's Half Acres, New Jersey? I'm not too sure. But yeah, just not the best turning, and I'm at the point where I've gotten enough practice where I shouldn't be pulling moves like that anymore, so I'll comment on it once right here and be mad at myself once, and besides that, unless there's like a really bad turn, like, yeah, I know, they're not the best in here, that's why I'm still in the Cat 4-5 race. Today the wind was coming straight from the south, so even though I'm not directly behind someone here in this line, I am still relatively protected. Like, being out here is not the worst because this is just entirely crosswind on this northern side.
Outside.
A couple things happening at this point. This is the point where we're almost halfway done, where I'm starting to feel the heat, and I'm feeling like, it's getting a little harder to breathe at this point. I'm not used to that. And we will also see an example of this turn camber just being weird, and someone just not turning enough. There is the photographer right there. No pictures of me, unfortunately. But yeah, watch. Just, oh, there we go. Kind of sad to see that, but that happened last year in the 4.5. It happened this year in the 3.4. It might have even happened in the P123. I don't know. I wasn't at that corner for the P123. But it's just, if you're not taking that line outside, you gotta like really turn into it.
Yeah, he just didn't turn.
That's my friend Sam. He's saying, "Oh, it sounded bad back there." I was like, "Yeah, it kind of was."
He went right into the curb.
But yeah, I'm also at this point kind of keeping track of where the bunch ups are happening, because right now I know I'm in the back. As long as I'm not falling off the front, it's fine. But where are the bunch ups happening so that in a few laps I can make that move up that I need to? And this was one of them. And in half a lap, at like right before the chicane, that also was a spot that I was realizing that people aren't really pedaling right here. Like, that's a good spot to move up. And so making note of that while also trying to reserve the limited energy that I've got at this point. And also this hill right here sucks. It's not steep. It's like 3% for a little bit and then 1% for a little bit. But it doesn't really look like that. And it's into the headwind and it's at the end. And so it sucks to go up every single time. That's like the only little elevation gain on this course. It's otherwise pretty flat. Here's an example of a very bad line by me on this next turn, as I get kind of nervous about the guy on my right who actually takes the line correctly, and I force myself way outside instead of just doing the turn correctly. Like, I got that triple X rider corner of my vision. I'm like, oh, I don't want to hit him, and so I do this stupid thing instead. once again, I take this outside line here, not even in anyone's draft. I really like taking this line. It's not the usual line on Elmhurst, but this year, just because of the wind it was, I'm only doing 200 watts, going 30, passing up everyone here. I eventually slot in. Oh, I could have went a couple more. That's all right. But eventually, this guy in the red right here, Noah, who is like, I race a lot with him. We're not teammates, but we race a lot together. He slots in front of me, and his tires, both of them. So both the guy in the green and the guy, or Noah, like both of their tires slip. I'm actually gonna, this is the first time I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna edit the video and rewatch that. Alright, so it's really hard to tell in person what happened. You see the guy in the green right there, pedal strikes a little bit, and the guy in the red had pretty hard overreaction, but you can't even say overreaction to that, because you kind of think that he's going down, you gotta react, so that's what happened there. But yeah, we're all good, immediately came back, just a few laps left here. Yeah, and we start slowing a lot here. I wasn't expecting that. And this is the point where I'm really starting to feel the heat. I've undone my jersey a little bit, and I'm like, I can't really be expending that much energy right now. Like, I am feeling it. So it's a new kind of personal battle for me right here. This is also a preem lap, $50 preem, which is pretty big for a 4-5 race. And so I didn't hear that, so I'm not going to go for it, obviously. But the guy who almost crashed, avoiding the pedal strike, actually goes out and wins it. So he gets a little bit of a redemption there. alright, we're at like 1.5 to go, and this is where I make my move. And talking with my team beforehand, which was just me, I was solo this race. This is kind of where I wanted to make the move back up to the front, and there's a line of, it's 5 wide right there. Easy peasy. I just gained 30 in half of a block. And so this is where I wanted to get to the front, and obviously I don't want to hold the front for a lap and a half, but if I can get near the front now, I don't have to fight as many people later. And so I intentionally am not on the gas here, only going 200 to kind of coax people to go around me, keep the power going, because I don't want to be on the front, but I want to be top 10 here. So I got up to where I wanted to be, but unfortunately I didn't have the energy left today. I was just too many bad turns, probably needing to kind of accelerate, and just the heat got to me in a way that I am not used to it getting to me, and so I fall a bit too far back. But like right here, 5th wheel with a lap to go, perfect spot. This is where I wanted to be, and unfortunately I let it slip, but that's alright. That's kart racing. We'll see here, it gets real hectic on this last lap. Let's see what jersey. This guy here entirely hits my handlebar. I'm actually kind of surprised that I did not wipe out there. He hit me pretty hard. It's kind of hard to not do that in a straightaway. It would be nice, and so that kind of spooked me a little bit. And then 10 more people passed me. Now I'm back to like 20th wheel. Would not have wanted to be there. I'm a little spooked and I'm a little gassed at this point, and so this is probably where my race ended. It's like I didn't really have the mentality to get back up there at this point, unfortunately. But we'll see one more thing happen here in another half a lap. I'm just going to keep talking on this recording because we got half a lap to go, and I don't want to start and stop another Audacity file. So I take this turn terribly, and then I take this turn terribly because I'm kind of gassed at this point. I wasn't the most worried when I saw the field going away there, because I know that the rest of the field doesn't turn the best either, because we're a bunch of Cat 4.5s. So I knew I would be able to get back up to them, but getting up to 800 and then holding 400 plus for this whole straight, not the best use of energy. Obviously we had a sprint coming. And then we'll see here on this turn, from how I remember it, we'll see if I remember it the same way, is someone peels off in this turn. Yeah, this guy just slows down, and I had to brake because it's like everyone's a little cross-eyed at this point. I didn't react to him as fast as I would have at the start of the race, but going like 14 with that turn on the inside line, and then the people behind me reacted a bit late to me, and then you heard the crash. Oh, I probably talked over, but you heard the crash over them, and now the front is gone. I could have done a bit better. I'm gassed. I don't even bother following these people. So I could have been, instead of 23rd, maybe I could have been like 15th here. But yeah, no, I'm gassed. We got this last hill to go. A couple more people passed me up, but yeah, that's the race for me. Yeah. I'm gassed. I'm making noise, but that Triple X rider right there, apparently he was in it for the sprint win, and he had his chain pop off from the shift and the power right at the end, so unfortunately there. And I had one more person pass me right at the end. But yeah, stats are on the page. That is my race. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully see you guys out here next time, because this is a home race. I want to get this promoted as much as I can. Okay, bye.